As we start venturing into the world of Lean and Six Sigma, we must start to understand the process and steps of completing a project initiative. For the white belt, this means that we need to take a look at the first phase of any project, the define phase. The define phase is the most important step of the DMAIC process because it lays out what the problem is, what needs to be done, who needs to help, what resources will be needed, and how long the entire process should take. It is during the define phase that we create the guidelines for our entire project. A typical design phase includes the creation of the project charter, which is the map that guides us through the entire initiative. Identifying the problem, what needs to be accomplished, by whom, and in how much time. In designing our project, we usually start with a Sipoc diagram and take into account the voice of the customer, critical to quality factors, cycle times, and even map out the entire process that we will be working on as it is now and how we think it should be when we are finished with the initiative. One of the most important documents created as part of a Six Sigma initiative is without a doubt the project charter. The charter is generally composed of 7 elements, which includes the business case, problem statement, goals, a goals statement, project scope, and of course the overall plan and team structure. The business case defines the benefits of the project to the organization, whereas the problem statement defines the opportunity to be rectified. We need a clear and concise goal for the project, as well as a statement on the approach on how that goal will be achieved. The scope sets up our boundaries to keep us on target to completing the project objectives. The plan provides our project time and milestones, and finally, we need to define the team and its structure. In Lean and Six Sigma, a Sipoc diagram is used to summarize the inputs and outputs of one or more processes in the form of a table. It is used to define a business process from beginning to end before the work begins. The acronym Sipoc stands for suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, and customers, which form the columns of the table. We use the Sipoc diagram to give people who are unfamiliar with a process a high-level overview of that process, and of course to reacquaint people whose familiarity with the process has faded or has become out of date due to process changes. And it also helps people in defining a new process. The voice of the customer, or VOC, is a term used in Lean and Six Sigma to describe the in-depth process of capturing customers' expectations, preferences, and aversions. Specifically, the voice of the customer is a technique that produces a detailed set of customer wants and needs, organized into a hierarchical structure, and then prioritized in the terms of relative importance and satisfaction with current alternatives. VOC studies consist of both qualitative and quantitative research steps, and they are conducted at the start of any new product, process, or service design initiative in order to better understand the customer's wants and needs, and as a key input for new product definition. Critical to quality is an attribute of a part, assembly, subassembly, product, or process that is literally critical to the quality, or more precisely, has a direct and significant impact on its actual or perceived quality. There are 3 components of a critical to quality tree, which includes what the customer's needs are, what elements or characteristics will your customer most likely consider when judging the quality of your product or service, and what process or product requirements are needed to make those drivers meet customer standards. The actual time spent working on producing an item or providing a service measured from the start of the first task to the end of the last task is known as the cycle time. It includes both value-added time as well as non-value-added time. It is the actual time it takes to complete the product and not the expected time. These are not interchangeable concepts. although some organizations often misinterpret takt time and lead time for cycle time. All three of these times are important, but in the define phase, we focus on defining the actual time the process takes. Value stream mapping is one of the most effective and efficient means of identifying wasteful activities in any organization or process, and is, in many ways, one of the first tools that will be used in an initiative. It helps us to identify redundancy and show any bottlenecks that, if resolved, would equal quick and easy wins for a first project. The value stream map itself is, in all simplicity, a flowchart with just a few extra symbols. These extra symbols include information on manpower and cycle time. In Lean, we generally make two value stream maps, one which shows the current state, and then another which shows the future, or the perfect process map. On the other hand, process mapping refers to activities involved in defining what a process or business does, who is responsible, to what standard a process should be completed, and how the success of a process can be determined. The main purpose behind process mapping is to assist organizations in becoming more efficient and more effective. A clear and detailed process map or diagram allows outside firms to come in and look at whether or not improvements can be made to the current process. Quality control is crucial to the success of any business. It can either make or break an organization. Good quality products and services build trust and lead to repeat business. But bad quality costs an organization money and drives that business away. Every week, we upload new videos between 5 and 10 minutes in length, where we will focus on the concepts and strategic implementation of Lean and Six Sigma. As a Master Black Belt, I am passionate about quality, and if you are too, then click subscribe to be notified whenever we upload our next Lean Six Sigma video.